First thing that you're going to want to do as an investigator entering in the Veritone IDentify application is to create a new case. It's simple just by creating this new case button. All of the fields here today that I will be showing you are customizable based off of how your department currently standardizes the case creation process. But for now, for my demo account, the only thing that's mandatory for me to fill out are the case ID and case name. So I will just type in a case ID and case name. And as soon as the case is created, it's going to start prompting me to start uploading my evidence. I can upload this from a variety of different sources, whether it be from my own hard drive, whether it be from a thumb drive, my local computer, and I can select as many files as I would like. It's just as simple as selecting the files and pressing upload, and it will start uploading those videos into your case file. For the sake of time, I'm not going to upload that video, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into a case that I already have created. Now, you'll notice once we do enter a case, there are 4 different areas as to ways that you can progress the case. Your first area is your evidence tab. Then you have your processed, suspects, and notes, and we'll get into each of those in just a moment. But in your evidence tab, once your evidence is uploaded, this is where that evidence will sit. So it's that raw file, the raw video, no edits have been made to it, no processing has been done. Your only capabilities within your suspect, within your evidence tab, is to simply watch the video. You can fast forward, you can rewind, and you can pause. Those are essentially your 3 features that you can do within your suspects tab. From here, now let's say this is a piece of evidence that we would like to start running our facial recognition process on. We have a number of different options on what we can do. Your first option is to run process and to run the entire video. This will do 2 things. The first thing is it will run facial detection. It's going to detect every single face within your video file. Upon those detected faces, it's going to then run a facial recognition process, which is essentially just matching that face that it has detected to the databases that you have selected that you want to run against. You can have multiple databases and select, the specific ones that you want, or you can select them all. This is obviously the quickest and easiest way for your investigators to start processing their evidence to produce matches and start identifying their suspects. We do have a number of different options though as to different ways that you can process. So now let's assume that we're pulling a street corner video, and let's say it's a CCTV video that's maybe about an hour long. Let's say our suspect only appears in about 5 minutes of that video. We don't necessarily need to process that entire video. So instead we have a trim and process button, which allows us to simply select the area of the video where we would like to run not only facial detection, but also our facial recognition, specifically only the areas where our suspect is shown and that is relevant to us. So once I select the selected portion, I can choose my databases that I want to start running my face against, and I can trim this video to just that selected portion, as well as run facial detection and recognition only on that selected portion of your video. Your third and final option is a manual face ID. So let's continue on with that street corner example. So let's say it's a busy street corner and we want to only get matches for our suspect. We don't necessarily care too much about the bystanders that are walking around and walking through that video. So we have the ability to simply select our suspect's face. We can do this as many times as we would like. And what it's going to do is we've already detected the faces that we want to start matching against our database and running the recognition process on. So it's going to just start matching those faces to your database based off of just the screen grabs that you took. So this is going to be the quickest way for you to process your evidence, because obviously you're not going to be processing a video. You're instead going to be running only screen grabs and images through the facial recognition process. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to hit process, but you would just simply select the databases that you want, and then you would start receiving your matches. Once your evidence is processed, it lives in this process tab of your case.